Welcome to Berger de Beauce Pedigree Database. In this video, I'm going to show you how to utilize various resources in order to find more information on foreign dogs. In the United States, many of the dogs we import are French, and so the very first resource we're going to use is the French Kennel Club's website, SCC. If you type in centrale-canine.fr, this is where you will pop up. If you are not fluent in French or you don't have that little translator tool that is utilized in Google Chrome or Microsoft's browsers, what you're going to do is go over to the Nos Espaces section, and then you're going to click on the very first selection in this drop-down menu, which is LOF Select. Now you're going to scroll down, and the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to type the breed of the dog that you're looking for in this box right here. And you're going to have to type in the French way, Berger de Beauce. Next, you're going to go to these three buttons, and you're going to click on the farthest left button in order to get to their pedigree database. Now there's various ways that you can look for dogs in the SCC database. So the first way we're going to do is just by the dog's name. So utilizing a very popular stud dog's name, and here we are. You don't even have to type in the full name in order for it to pull up. But if you were to just type in this kennel name here at the end, because this is a very popular breeder in France, there would be too many results for it to search. And so it's going to tell you that too many results, you have to narrow down your search. So try and get the most accurate name that you can. And now you can click on the dog. And here is all this dog's information. You can get the COI information, their breed and color. You can get their quotation, date of birth, LOF number, microchip number. You can get their health information that has been submitted to SCC, their pedigree information, as well as their show and sport titles. So SCC offers a lot of different information for you to utilize. Which is really, really awesome. So just to go over it really quickly, down here at the bottom is this dog's pedigree. Next is the health information, which you can also see right here in green. The next tab is going to be all his show titles and or placements. Then it's going to be his sport titles and placements. Next is his litter mates. These are all his litter mates, so that when you're adding this dog into the database, you can go ahead and add all of his litter mates as well to make sure that we get the most amount of dogs as possible and as efficiently as possible. So you can go down and add all of these dogs. And then last but certainly not least, his progeny. So as you can see, there are 14 litters that are registered with the French Kennel Club. And each of the dams to these litters is right here. So you can go all the way down to the bottom. It gives you the date of birth, the dam, and then if you click on the little plus sign, it'll give you the names of all of the dogs that were in that litter. Again, this one's just a singleton, so there's only one. If you go to the next one, you can see all the dogs that were in this litter, their important information, their titles, all that good stuff. So when you're entering a dog, if they do happen to have siblings or different litters, please try and add as much information as possible, because that's the most efficient way to enter dogs into the new database. So again, this is just one tool that you can use. There are a few other ways that you can search in this database though. So if we go back to where we put in Urko's name, if you go to this second tab right here, you can also see that you can search dogs based off of their microchip number or their tattoo number. Another way that you can look them up is through their registration number. So if you type in their registration number right here and click this button, it'll come up with the dog that matches that registration number. So again, this is just another tool that you can use for French registered dogs. Sometimes they do have information on foreign dogs, but the information is going to be rather incomplete most of the time because they're just in the database in order to fulfill another dog's pedigree. So the next tool that we're going to look at is working dogs. So you guys have seen this before when we did Kias, but I want to show you how to search for a dog. So if you go up here to this top bar up here, go to dogs and then search, this is where you're going to come up. Now, working dog is utilized for many different breeds, and so you have to be pretty specific in the name that you type in. So as you can see, there's only one Urko, so we can go ahead and click him, and it takes us right to his page. Now, if you are not a member of Working Dog, a lot of these fields are going to be grayed out, and you won't be able to see them. That's because only certain members of Working Dog can see certain things. So make sure that you sign up. It's free. It's super easy to create an account here. But you can definitely look at this and then go back and look at your SCC and make sure that all the information that you are putting in our database is correct. If you scroll down, you can also check the pedigree and see if there's any other information that might have been added. Sometimes there's extra videos, documents, pictures, all that kind of stuff down there at the bottom. Now you can also see on here and in the SCC, there's offspring information, sibling information. They might have different statistics based on the dog. So you can utilize all of those different tabs in order to verify the information that you're adding into the database. So the next resource we're going to look at has to do with working titles. So as you can see, Urko has a ring 2 and 3 here in this working certification section of Working Dog. You could also see it in SCC. So if you wanted to try and find pictures or verify that information, a good resource to use is Le Beauceron Sportif, which if you type this in your Google search browser, it will pop up. It's usually the first link to pop up. So this is a fantastic website to use, especially when you're trying to find pictures and working pictures. As you can see, there's many different sports that are included on this website, but the most comprehensive is the Sport de Défense. So we're going to go ahead and click that since we know that Urko has a ring 2 and 3. And if we go to Genealogy, you get all the dogs that are included in the Sport de Défense section of this website. Now they don't have a search bar, so you will have to scroll down to whichever dog you're looking for. If I go to I, it is in alphabetical order for me, so it makes it pretty easy. Click on Urko and here we are, presented with some pictures. A lot of times there is going to be the pedigree, some other information. As you can see, his date of birth, LOF number, his hip ratings are here as well. His owner and breeder are both in here. Sometimes they'll have the results from each of their titles in here. Sometimes they won't. And then, of course, the pictures, which are super important for our database. So you can pull any of these from this website that you want. If you were looking for a herding dog, you would go to Troupeau. Same genealogy. And again, this is not as extensive as the Sport de Défense, but there are quite a few notable dogs in here that you can pull from. Sam is in a lot of different pedigrees, so you can pull some information from here. Elan is a very prominent stud over there. You can pull some information. Alto is another very prominent one. His has some pictures. So again, just try and use this as another resource to verify information or pull some pictures in order to add them to the database. So that's pretty much it for the French descendant dogs. There are a few other websites that you can use, but these are the three main ones that we like. Another one is Chiens de France. So if you want to go and look at that one, a lot of breeders' pages are on there, breeders' websites, and then you can click on their specific dogs and it'll give you a little bit more information just like these. Now, another database that is pretty comprehensive that I like to use is the Swedish Database. It is not completely the same as the SCC one, but it is very comprehensive and offers some information that sometimes the SCC website does not. But of course, it's going to be for Swedish dogs. So if you type in SKK database into your web browser, it is the first one that pops up. SKK is the Swedish Kennel Club. So here we are. This is the SKK database. And again, if you go and click that little Google Translate up in your top right-hand corner, it makes it a little bit easier for you, unless you're fluent in Swedish. Now, I've used this quite a few times, so I already kind of know my way around. So if you go over to this left-hand bar and click on the very first one under that line, that's going to take you to be able to search for dogs in their database. And you're going to click under this name section right here. And I'm just going to type in a pretty prominent kennel and just type in their kennel name and see what pops up. And look at that. All of these dogs are available for me to search. As you can see, there's even more on that second page. And I'll click this newest one, Grand Luton Amazing. I can click on the registration number there, and here's all the information. This is the sire and the dam, of course. Date of birth is right here. And if you see, there's a few other little tabs down here. This is titles, so you can see what titles she has. This is going to be the breeder information. So you can see some of it right there, right underneath. And of course, sometimes it needs you to double check that you're not a robot. So go ahead and do that. And here's all that information. So you can pull the breeder information. And there's a few other things. Again, use that Google Translate feature that some of those browsers allow you to use. I know Windows has the same thing, so that you can get the most out of these websites. And if we go back here, you can go and search any other dogs in the Swedish database. So one of the last resources we're going to go over is the About Beaucerons page. So this is Elaine's website and database. It is the most comprehensive database that we have found so far, up to April 2014. So anything after April 2014 is not going to be included in this database, but it's extremely comprehensive for older dogs and getting back into the really old dogs and back in dogs' pedigrees, not just in France, but all over the world. So if we click on database right here, we can enter the name of any dog. And there we go, Urco pops up, and we can click on pedigree with links, and here we are. All of Urco's information is right here for us to see. Now, if I wanted to get the pedigree of any of these later dogs, all I have to do is click on their name and it will take me to that information. One feature that we really love about Elaine's website is that she notates when dogs received certain quotations. It's right here underneath the quotation selection here. And we really love to include that information so that we can backtrack and verify those quotations if they are not in the SCC website. So that's definitely a really cool feature that she has put into her website. She also has the breeding info. So if you want to find siblings, half siblings, and then any descendants, which Urko was born in 2013, so his progeny is not going to be included on her website, but if he had, they would be right here after the half siblings. All of that information is right here in her website. Now, again, there are a few other websites that you can use. So if you're trying to search for any of those, one is Chiens de France. As you can see, it's already popping up. It's right here. So you can usually search right from here, or if you're looking for a specific dog, just type in part of their name. Usually it will take you right to their Chiens de France page, and you can sometimes get, like here you can see his ring 1 is on here. It hasn't been updated since then. Sometimes you can get their registration number, quotations, etc., all in here. So Chiens de France is a really good one. The Czech database is another really good tool to use. If you search most of the warrior soul dogs, they're all in there. So we showed this with Jody Warrior Soul in Kia's video. As you can see, the Warrior Soul website is going to pop up, but if you keep going, Beauceron.cz, that is the Czech database. And here we are again, all of Jody Warrior Soul's information in the Czech database. There is also a Russian database and a few other different resources. If you're using some of these other resources, just make sure you can double verify that that information is correct with a second verifiable source, such as SCC. Elaine's website is extremely accurate, or any of the other kennel clubs databases. Just make sure that you can verify all of that information. And of course, if you guys have any questions, you're confused about how to use some of these resources, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to us by going to the contact page right here on the Berger de Beauce Pedigree database page, or of course, you can always contact us on Facebook. Thanks for watching.